John chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. John chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. After these things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. A great multitude followed him because they saw his miracles which he did on them that were diseased. And Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. The Passover feast of the Jews was nigh. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he said unto Philip, "When shall we buy bread that these may eat?" This he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennies worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, "There's a lad here, which had 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes, but whether they among so many?" And Jesus said, "Make the men sit down." Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sit down in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were sit down. Likewise also the fishes, as much as they would. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, "Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost." Therefore they gathered them together and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over and above unto them that had eaten. Verse 14, then these men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, "This is of a truth, that prophet shall come unto this world." There is a story behind my praise. There is a story. Shout it with me. There is a story behind my praise. Thank you so much. Allow me to walk through this text and allow the Holy Spirit to tailor the truth. This is one of the most known and noted passages in the Bible. For some mysterious reason, the Holy Spirit allowed all 4 gospel writers to write of this episode of the lad's lunch. Most of the time, because of who the other writers wrote to, they differ in stories. Matthew wrote to the Jews, Mark to the Romans, Luke to the Greeks, and John wrote to all believers. And so many of the things that Luke would say was omitted by John. Many of the things that John would say, Matthew and Mark missed. But for some reason, all 4 chimed in on this one episode.